a super easy way to use your calculator to find powers and exponents? Well, if you do, you are in the right place. This is Math Defined, and I'm Mrs. C, and I'm going to show you the easy way to finding powers on this scientific calculator. Before I begin solving those problems that are listed to the left of my calculator here, I do want to go over 4 specific buttons that we will be using on this scientific calculator. So beside all the white buttons here that are just our number buttons, we will be using the button that looks right here, that looks like x squared. We will be using this button here that looks like a caret. We will be using this button right here that looks like a mixed number, or the ABC button. And we'll be using this button down here that looks like a minus button. So let's get started. We're going to start by looking at our first example of 3 squared. Now this is a power, and if you'll recall from my previous video on powers and exponents, powers have 2 components. They have a base and they have an exponent. And the base is the large number, and the exponent is the small number that's on the right side, or actually upper right side of the base. So when you are putting these powers into your calculator, you always put the base in first. So I'm going to go ahead and clear my calculator, and I'm going to do my first example of 3 squared. So 3 is my base, so I'm going to go ahead and put my 3 in. And for this particular one, since my exponent is a 2, I'm going to use this button right here, because this looks like x to the power of 2. And in this case, x can be any number. And I have a 3 for my number at this time. So I'm going to go ahead and click this button here. And you see up here it says 3 squared. So this is 3 to the 2nd power, or 3 squared. Then I come down here and I hit my equal, or my enter button. So I know that 3 squared is equal to 9. And remember, to find that, you could do that mentally actually, because 3 squared is just 3 times 3, and 3 times 3 is 9. Now I'm going to clear this. Now my next example is 3 to the 5th. And as you can see, 3 to the 5th is equal to a much larger number than 9, and that is 243. So now we're really happy we have a calculator to help us with this one. So 3 is my base, so I put that in first. Now I cannot use this button here because this is the button that's used when your exponent is a 2. Well, my exponent is a 5. So that means that I'm going to come up here to this button that looks like a caret, but it's actually an exponent button. And whether you're using a Texas Instruments scientific calculator, or any of the other brands that are out there that are just as good as a Texas Instrument, usually the buttons are pretty much universally the same. So when you see something like this, this is going to be your exponent button. So I went ahead and I clicked the exponent button, and my exponent is a 5. And then I go ahead and hit my equals, or my enter, and there I get 243. Isn't this easy? So now we're going to do another one that looks kind of challenging. Now I have a power that is 4 to the 1/2. So I'm going to clear this, and again, your base always goes in first. So I'm going to put my 4 in, and I don't have an exponent of 2, so I need to go up here to my caret button because my exponent is something other than a 2. But now my exponent is a fraction of 1/2. So I'm going to use this fraction button to help me create that fraction of 1/2. So the first thing I do is I put my 1 for my numerator here. Then I go to my fraction button, and then I put the denominator of 2. So this little backwards L here is the fraction bar separating the numerator from the denominator. And then all I have to do is come down here and hit enter. And so 4 to the 1/2 power is 2. Now one more. This time I have 10 to the -2 power. So again, we're going to start by putting our base in first. Now this is a 2 as well as my 10 to the 2, but that is a -2, not a positive 2. And this button you use when you have a positive exponent of 2. And I don't have a positive exponent of 2, so I need to use my exponent button. Now, I also want to show you here, if you're new to using these scientific calculators, a very common mistake that people make is when they see the negative numbers like -2, they go ahead and they use this minus sign right here to show a negative number. So let me show you what happens if you do that. So let's go ahead and put this button here, then our exponent of 2. And so now I'm going to go ahead and hit my enter, and you see that I get a syntax error. And sometimes when people, especially when they're new to using this calculator, they think, oh, well, this calculator can't do negative exponents. And that is just not correct at all, because it really can. You just have to know the correct buttons to use. So let's clear it. I'm going to clear it all the way. I'm going to put my base of 10. Go ahead and hit my exponent button. Now, the correct negative sign button on the scientific calculator is this one right here. So whenever you have a negative number, this is what you're going to click, not the minus sign, because this is subtract. This doesn't mean negative, it means subtract. So I need to click this button here and then my 2. And if you'll notice, if you back up on the video, you'll notice that this negative sign here looks a little bit different than the subtraction sign did when we did it before. So now I'm ready to hit enter, and I get an answer of 0.01. And that's all there is to it. Now you have it. Well, I hope that this video was helpful to you, and if it was, please let me know by becoming a subscriber today, and leave me a comment in the comment sections below. So until I see you next time, thank you so much for watching.